Hello everyone, welcome to the new video. I just purchased this Dell monitor. The exact name is this Dell UltraSharp U2520D. It's a 25-inch monitor. In this video I will talk about this monitor and I will also give my first impression, and I will show also what it comes inside of the box, and I will also say why I chose this monitor. There are so many options to choose from, especially when you're buying monitor. It's a little bit usually tough to decide which one to get. And in this video I will also talk about these points. Hope you guys will enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe. Hey guys, what comes inside of the box? We have the power cable here. Then we have the HDMI port, we have the USB-A to USB-C port, and we have the USB-C to USB-C port. They all come inside of the box, but they're not that long. I will say maybe maximum 1 meter. Then you have the bottom plate and also the stand. You have the monitor here, and you have some paperwork. That's all which is inside of the box. So now the setup is almost finished. Now you guys can see, I set it up, I turn it on, and now it asks for the language. The HDMI cable doesn't come with it, so you have to purchase it extra. And you have the bottom plate and the stand and the monitor, and you have the power cable. That's all. You have also some paperwork for the manual and also how to build the whole monitor here. But that's all. For me, the HDMI port could be also nice that it could be included, but I had it luckily at home, so I can set it up with my MacBook Pro here. First impressions for me here is that the quality is really good. For this price, it has a really good build quality. You can feel it also. Actually, I never had such a, let's say, expensive monitor. Usually they were like full HD displays, which they cost 200 euro. And this is much better quality, definitely. You have some USB-C ports, you have HDMI port, you have display port. On the side here you have also two like USB-A and USB-C port, and in the bottom here you can also adjust the brightness and go to the settings. For example, if I click on this button here, now I can choose which button I want. There's no touch sensitivity here, there's just buttons, which actually is good. And from there you can also adjust the settings. What about the screen quality? That's the most important part. From the distance that I'm sitting, right now it's perfect. I cannot distinguish any single pixel. And that's because of this pixel density and the specification of this monitor, which I will talk later. But the colors are really saturated and it's really nice monitor. And you can see the bezels are also like really small, and you will get like a modern feeling, definitely. And one thing that I realized also that the screen is also not glossy, so it's matte, so reflections of the sun from behind also you can see that it's much less. And also the brightness is also good in this monitor, which I also will talk about in the specifications and specs, and about why I purchased this monitor. I will start with the specs. This is the LED IPS panel. It has a resolution of 2560 by 1440. It's a wide quad HD monitor, and it's a 25-inch screen. It has a pixel density of 117.5, and the power supply is here from the USB-C port. It's also really important. You guys should also pay attention to that. It's 90 watt. The brightness is 350 nits in this monitor, and the aspect ratio is 16:9. I mentioned also in the top that this is not a gaming monitor because the reaction time is 5 milliseconds and the refresh rate is here 60 Hz. If you want to really game, this is not the monitor for you. But for casual players, for like if you want to sometimes play some games, then you will not have any issues also with this monitor. As I said about the port, you have the USB-C, HDMI, display port, USB-A, and audio output here. what other features you can get here? You can also buy wall mounting for this, so you can also install it on the wall. And then you have the color depths from 8-bit, 16.57 million, and you have the HDR 400 here. There are some numbers. The most important thing is like how accurate the colors are and how the saturation is, kind of, for most of the people if you're not professional. So it has a really good colors that I can guarantee. What is missing here, it has no speaker and it has no DVI, like a port for the connecting to the DVI like a monitor to the PCs, kind of. If you want that, this is also missing here, but you always can get like adapters, so that should not be a big issue. So now I want to talk about the most important part of this video, why I purchased this and why I could recommend it. It took me a lot of time to buy this monitor because I couldn't find exactly what I needed and what I wanted, let's say, for the price that I had in mind. And that made it a little bit tough. In the end, I gave up to one of the features, which I will talk about now, to purchase this monitor. You can see that here I also like highlighted with the green here. I write them in the green font color here. These are the major factors that I bought this monitor. First thing, I wanted to have a USB-C monitor. That was essential for me because I see the future to be just USB-C. And it should have also the power supply more than 65 watts. There are some monitors, they have 45 watts, so you have to be a little bit pay attention there. Although right now I don't need that for my laptop, it's an old like 2013 MacBook Pro, but in the future, if I change my computer, for a laptop also, for a tablet also, or if I buy a PC, it is for me important to have this USB-C power supply. And this monitor here that you guys see here, it has a 19 watt. I also showed it in the specs. That was the first checkpoint for me. And based on that, I searched for the monitors actually. The second thing, I searched a lot about the prices and I found that you can find these kind of monitors with the USB-C for the prices below 400 euro. I wanted definitely to have a Quad HD at least, not Full HD, Quad HD. It would be nice if I could get 4K or 6K, but the prices go up. So that's why I had this price below 400 euro here for myself. That will also narrow down your search. Then I wanted to have a screen size of 23 to 25 inch because as you could guys see, the desk that I have here is in general small, so 27 inch will be a bit too big. But also there was another issue that most of the manufacturers don't write in the specification. It's this pixel density. If you go and check now for the 27 inch and the 24 or 25 inch monitors, they will all write like they have this resolution. It's a Quad HD 2560 by 1440, but they don't usually write the pixel density. Because when you go to the 27 inch and you have the same resolution, it means that the pixel density is less, so the images will be less sharper. That's really important. You have to really pay attention of this part. And if you go to this Dell, this model's website here, I have it here open. If you go here, there you can see clearly that they write it down. So of course they will do that if it's a like feature from this monitor, but most of the monitors, like especially like below 400, especially in the 27 inch ones, they don't mention this pixel density. So that was also one of the major points that I chose this 24-25 inch like area as a screen size. The second of last, I would say I don't want to say the last one. I want to talk about the design. I like the design of it, so it's also one part for my decision here. But in the end, I narrowed down for like 2-3 options in general, the options that I had. And then I chose based on the brightness, because as you guys see behind here I have the window, I have the sun shining, so the brightness was important for me. And I realized that usually you get 300 nits for this like Quad HD with this specification here. And I found this monitor which has 350 nits. So it was a little bit more expensive, I would say, maybe 50 euro, 60 euro. But for me, it was essential to have this brightness. So that's why I chose it. Why I said in the beginning that this was not the perfect monitor for me. In the beginning, I was searching for something better than this refresh rate. I was hoping to find something with 75 or to 90 hertz, but I couldn't find anything that would fit with the other specification that I need. So eventually I gave up on this feature, which was not that important for me. I also prepared this because I struggled for myself to find the perfect monitor. It's not easy in general. First, I will recommend that you go scroll the web to get some idea about the prices and what kind of specs and features you get. And also you can watch some YouTube videos, that also helps a lot. Then you should define your budget. Based on your budget, then you can search about you can find out which factors or like a specification features are really important for you. If it's the screen size, refresh rate, ports, features, pixel density, design, and etc. So you have to design based on your preference. So if you're a gamer, you like different maybe design, you want higher refresh rate, and if you have some different computers with different ports, you should also consider that. But eventually you can narrow it down to two or three options. So then based on these 2-3 options, then you can select based on few differences that they have, which I did also here. I explained it before. Based on the brightness, I chose this monitor because if I go here, I go to this USB-C monitor. If I use search with the Quad HD one, you will get a few options here with the 24-inch, let's say. And this is actually one of those monitors from Lenovo, which was also in my list. Like this reaction time here is 4 milliseconds. It's a little bit better than the Dell that I have here with 5 milliseconds. But it also has like a speaker. This also you could consider the positive point. But here the problem was that I could see that here the brightness here was 300 nits. This was also, as I said, really important for me to get the highest as possible for the price range that I had. So that's why I eliminated this option. So you have to narrow it down eventually to 2-3 options, and based on some differences and what's really important for you, you can then choose your best monitor. But again, before you purchase this, go again, watch it in YouTube and search in the web for reviews to be sure that it doesn't have any weird problems or issues. That was actually all about this video. I wanted to give the first impression about how I felt about this monitor. It has a really premium feeling that I could guarantee. The screen quality is really good. And I showed also why I chose this monitor, which I can imagine that you guys can also struggle. In general, you can buy like full HD monitors around 200 euros, I would say, and like Quad HDs around 300 to 400. As I said, I see the future with the USB-C. And as you guys know, all the laptops and all the tablets are getting USB-C, and they are reducing the ports. So maybe you get just 2 or 1 ports, and that's the USB-C port. So it's really important to be able to connect it to your monitor and also get the power supply. And I said that also read about the power supply and find out how much the power supply of these USB-C ports is also important. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys know what will come next. I will connect the Lenovo Duet to this monitor and to see how it will work. So, hope to see you guys in the next video, which I will talk about this point.